The Sierra Club Atlantic chapter enthusiastically endorses Andrew Falk for New York State's 94th Assembly District. Andrew's steadfast commitment to environmental protection and demonstrated ability to work constructively across party lines puts him head and shoulders above the incumbent Stephen Katz. The Atlantic chapter is especially alarmed by Mr. Katz's dismissive attitude towards hydraulic fracturing. This drilling technique threatens New York's air, water, and our communities. In 2012, Mr. Katz voted against legislation that would close loopholes. These loopholes exempt hazardous wastewater from fracking, from proper handling, treatment, and disposal rules. The stakes could not be higher. The contaminants in this produced water are highly toxic chemicals like benzene and formaldehyde. Katz's stated willingness to drink the effluent from hydrofracking makes a sorry joke of an issue that could not be more serious as a threat to our health, our well-being, and our water supply.
I'm a geologist. I have some technical background, and I have looked at this issue at this latitude where it rains every day and there's no place to store the fracking waste outside without causing it to enter into the environment, where there's no methodology for removing both radioactivity and heavy metals and the other poisons that are put into the water in order to make it useful for this commercial industrial purpose. This is an issue that needs a great deal more study. And anyone who says that they're going to drink the fracking fluid really either doesn't understand it or really is completely irresponsible. What we need is time to understand what the consequences would be. The draft generic environmental impact statement process has not been completed, and to his credit, the DEC Commissioner, Joseph Martins, earlier, about 3 weeks ago now, made an announcement that there will be a suspension of the progress toward releasing permits, and there will be instead a study done on the potential health effects by the Commissioner of Health of the state of New York. And Commissioner of Health, that entry into this process of evaluation is very, very helpful. It is something that Andrew Falk has, through his advocacy for a more thoughtful approach, has advocated for. So, we're really at a moment in time where this community, and indeed all of the communities across the state, have an opportunity to select representatives who will serve responsibly and thoughtfully on matters that deal with the health and well-being of the people of the state. I would just like to recommend that Andrew Falk is such a person, and that he is someone who would bring the kind of deliberative and constructive dialogue on this issue and a caution on this issue that is appropriate to what we know. And that gas has been in the ground for hundreds of millions of years. We can wait until the studies evaluating the consequences of drilling using the hydraulic fracturing technique are complete. Andrew Falk has called for that. It's one of the reasons I wanted to come here from Long Island. Andrew Falk's voice deserves to be the people's voice in Albany, and I look forward to an opportunity to continue to collaborate with him and to work with him in his new capacity, I hope, as the assemblyman from this district. So thank you for inviting me here today. I'll be around if you have any questions. Thank you.
Today I'm wearing my Sierra Lower Hudson Group hat in order to congratulate you, Andy, on the Atlantic chapter's endorsement of you, very well deserved, and to hope that you win this very important election. We see that you're in very good company with our wonderful initial hero opposing hydrofracking, Steve Engelbright. We do deeply salute you, Steve, and thank you so much for your leadership on this topic. We hope that Andy joins you and that we all can work together to create a sane energy policy for this state and this nation, and indeed the world.
A wonderful community. And unfortunately, this has become a political issue as to how are we going to best defend what we have for our future generations. My opponent, Steve Katz, in a series of debates and candidate forums, he says that he has the environmental credentials and he knows that hydraulic fracturing can be safe. I want to point out that the environmental advocates of New York rates our legislators on their environmental scores, and we blew it up for you. Assemblyman Steve Katz has the second lowest score in the New York State area, and it's the lowest score in the Hudson Valley. He rated a 30 on the environmental advocates. So when he talks about his environmental credentials, his credentials do not count when it comes to his votes against the environment. And when I say he votes against the environment, every single opportunity he has had, he has voted against protecting our environment, protecting our water. Four times Steve Katz has said that not only is he for hydraulic fracturing, but the wastewater that is not safe to put on our roads. The energy companies are trying to sell us the wastewater that they would need to dispose of. So they want to get some money for disposing of the wastewater by putting it on our roads. We live in a community where our water comes from wells. We live in a community where we are surrounded by reservoirs. The wastewater is not safe to put on our roads. It's contaminated with radiation, it's contaminated with benzene and other heavy metals. But not only is it unsafe to put on our roads, Steve Katz has said that after a recycling process, that he could be turned into potable drinking water. And he has said, and we have it on video, which will be available after I speak, he has said that he would drink recycled hydraulic fracturing wastewater. It's rather stunning that not only is hydraulic fracturing and protecting our environment a political issue, but now I get to look at you and look each and every one of you in the eye and say that I need to go up to Albany because I need to fight this perception that somehow hydraulic fracturing wastewater could be turned into potable drinking water. Because if we don't challenge that statement, the perception is that somehow this may be true. And I will go up to Albany and I will tell you that not only you, but our children and our grandchildren, I will fight to make sure that no one ever has to drink hydraulic fracturing wastewater.